noises you make.
Hey, hey, everybody! It's Manic Monday, and I am Mita, and I am here with Masika and Noodles with Bluntly Talking. Yeah, yeah, yeah!
How's it going?
Hello.
Hi, hi! How's everybody doing on this wonderful Manic Madness Monday?
It's Monday. Love
How was
that.
your weekend, you guys?
It was good. Tiring if anything.
Oh, you worked, huh?
Yes. I worked on Saturday, which, oh my god. It's
Was
just,
it packed?
yes, it's always freaking packed. I don't like it.
You love it.
And don't get me wrong, it's good for me because then I get more paid that way. But oh my god, people are getting so mad, like, cause like either we run out of one thing and another, and people are like, "Oh, we've been waiting here forever," and it's like people who've ordered in much longer and earlier than them, and they're barely getting their food, and everyone's like, I can see in their eyes like why they're getting it, not me, and I'm like, I want to say it's like, well, because they've been waiting here longer than you,
Yeah.
and because they have, it's not my
Like,
fault.
hello. Well, we're gonna give a couple of today is movie review. We finally saw Beetlejuice,
Finally.
Noodles and I. Yeah. So
Yes.
we can discuss it now. But before we get into all of that jazz, we got a couple of announcements to make. So this week we won't be here. We're not gonna do a podcast or a stream on Tuesday or Wednesday. We are going to be out of commission for those 2 days, but we are going to be working hard behind the scenes. Don't worry, y'all. We're doing things to improve. And then on Thursday, we are going to be back, but on Thursday and Thursday only, we are going to be doing a podcast in the afternoon. It's not going to be the normal time that we do right now. It'll be at 6 p.m. Mountain Eastern Time. Is there anything else I need to announce? I'm trying to think if I forgot anything.
Um,
mm,
oh, we're gonna stream at a different time.
Yeah, I just said that.
yes, she just said that. Talk about not listening.
Someone's not paying attention to me.
I guess not.
I
Might.
can't
Yes.
think of anything.
All right. So let's dig into our topic of the day because honestly, there's a lot to talk about. It's amazing. So, without further ado, our stream for today is movie review, which we saw Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. And we're gonna review it. So yay! I will start off by saying, just reading off a little synopsis of it, and again, warning, there's spoilers ahead. I think that we should try not to give too many spoilers, ladies,
Mm-hmm.
but just so you know, if you haven't seen the movie, we might slip up and we might say some spoilers. So just be aware of that and go watch the movie. Um,
No, yes, we encourage everybody to watch it.
100%. All right, so the synopsis for Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Uh, Three generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River after an unexpected family tragedy. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life soon gets turned upside down when her rebellious teenage daughter discovers a mysterious portal to the afterlife. When someone says Beetlejuice's name 3 times, the mischievous demon gleefully returns to unleash his very own brand of mayhem. This movie was released September 6, 2024. Director Tim Burton, distributed by Warner Brothers. It stars Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, Winona Ryder as Lydia Dietz, Jenna Ortega as Astrid Dietz, Catherine O'Hara, as Delia Deets. And yeah, so that's the wonderful synapses that they have here. Let's kick this out with how we always do. Now, we've been doing this for years, just us within our family. Every time we watch a movie, we have this thing where it's like, okay, um, favorite scene. Right out of the movie, we always talk about our favorite scene. So, what was your favorite scene, Lucica, from the movie?
From the movie, I would have to say my favorite scene was when Astrid finds out that everything that her mom says isn't bullshit. Like I love that one because like
Oh,
she's over here
yeah.
thinking that oh like I'm meeting this cool great guy who's understanding what I'm going through. Turns out he's undead or he's dead and everything, and she pretty much made out with the ghost, and she's like holy shit. And I find it fun because the guy's like no yes like I was very surprised that you can see me, but he's like I haven't talked to anybody in like 20 plus years, and I was like oh cool, someone to talk to.
Mm-hmm. Oh
And
my gosh, yes.
you would think like after knowing that like oh like what everything that her mom sees and everything is in bullshit, like she would want to then like try to understand her mom a little bit more, but like she's still the whole like active teenage rebellion. She's like oh my god my mom, which I kind of understand, but I just love that moment when she found out like not only is it not bullshit, but that she inherited her mom's ability to see. So then that makes you question how many did she see that were actually dead but looked normal-ish enough to be like for her not to question it.
Right. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, okay, so here what you said so your favorite scene is when Astrid finds out, I guess, the truth.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like for me in that scene, like that was like I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I never thought of it as like, oh, Lydia has this ability to see ghosts. I just thought it was gonna be specific for the Maitlands. So I like that they did that,
Hmm.
and how they incorporated the daughter in it. So yeah, I love that scene too. Those are good scenes.
Yeah, that was a good scene. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
Next.
Um, I think my favorite scene was when Beetlejuice first, like, when they got reunited.
Mhm.
Because it was a huge spoiler, guys. So, um, but it's a scene where they return to the house and Lydia has this new boyfriend and he is trying to like prove to her that like Beetlejuice isn't real. So he says his name 3 times while they're
Really
like
fast
up in
too.
bed. Yeah. Well, yeah, because he didn't want her to react. And
Oh my gosh, yes.
of course, like he Beetlejuice is there, like acting very professional, like, all right, everybody, like we need to spill our guts here, like, and then he legit spilled his guts, like,
Oh God.
it was great. Like I love that whole little reunion.
Yeah, it was kind of like a throwback, right? It was kind of like
Yeah.
a throwback
Mm-hmm.
to when he first meets the Maitlands and then he does that thing with the face that we don't get to see because
Yeah,
it's
like
yeah, that
that's
was
what I
pretty cool.
do. Like it's so great. I just loved
Right.
it. Like that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
All right, Madre, what is your favorite part?
So my favorite part, I was thinking right now as you guys are speaking, I was like, what was my favorite part? Because I know I said it, we kind of talked about it when we first saw the movie, and honestly, I was drawing blanks right now. I couldn't really remember a lot. So I'm just going to, for what I remember, I might remember a better one later on as we continue talking, so just be aware of that. But I kind of like the funeral scene where the choir is singing the Deo song.
I was not expecting
Oh yeah.
that.
Yeah, I just really like the way they sang it and just that, even the way the visual of that, how you get to see the house, the iconic house and the on the hill. Like, I just really liked that scene. In conjunction with that scene, I also liked, because these two are battling in my brain right now, the scene when the ex-wife, Beetlejuice's ex-wife, is coming together, like all her pieces.
Hmm.
I
Mm.
like that. I like that scene too. I thought that was just Tim Burton iconic stuff, you know?
Definitely.
So the next thing that we do is we talk about our least favorite scene. Musica, do you want to talk about your least favorite scene? Did you even have one in this movie? And if yes, what was your least favorite scene?
I did. My least favorite, I would have to say it would be honestly not seeing the wife more. Like when they first introduced her, because again, like in the trailer and everything, they made it seem like she's gonna be the big baddie. Like, oh my god, like it's gonna be an epic major showdown or something. And it just turns out like it wasn't that big of a deal. Like she came out very few times. The only times he did is like her not only looking at honey not for Beatrice, but also whenever she's like literally soul sucking out of another character. Yes, yes, very
That was
funny.
Yeah.
her whole theme.
Like I just I hated it. And to me it was just like why? Like they made it again,
Mm.
like they made it seem like it was gonna be a big ass deal. Like she's like it's gonna
Yeah,
be a
like
epic showdown between the two of them. And then she gets eaten by a fucking sandworm. And that's it. And I'm like, both me and my wife are like, that's it? Like, what the hell?
yeah.
No, yeah, we were disappointed. Very disappointed in that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with that.
What about you guys? What was your not so happy parts?
The part that I disliked the most, and again, huge spoiler, um, is how Delia is killed off and
Yes.
everyone's reaction to it after finding out.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't.
I thought it was kind of funny the way she died. To be
No, don't get me
honest.
No,
wrong. It's
no.
funny, but like I feel like they could have done so much more, and then how everyone was just kind of like,
Oh, you're dead.
"Oh
Like,
my God, you're dead!" Like
yeah, like
there
they didn't
was
even
no
bat an eye.
tears, nothing. Like
Well, I mean, it
yeah,
was Lydia kind of expect that because first of all, she and Delia never really were all that close.
Well, but no, I disagree with you there because in the first movie they weren't, but in this movie they, I mean, they have a relationship, don't they? I mean, it shows that they have a relationship,
yeah, and they even said there like that their relationship got better.
and it's been over 20 years already.
Hmm.
So yeah, I agree with you. I didn't like that.
Yeah, it was just not. It wasn't it. They could have done so much more. They could have done it so much better.
Yeah. Um, are you done with that?
Yeah, your turn. My bad.
Okay, so for me, my least favorite scene was the wedding because I I saw the trailer, right? And in the trailer they show them dancing, they show Astrid and Delia dancing and all that. And so I was expecting a dance number. I was expecting something like Deo from the first movie. And that's not what happened. So I was disappointed because to me that the whole wedding part, that was, I feel like it was such a missed opportunity. It was so slow for me, first of all. And I get it. It was meant to be like he was being romantic with Lydia and everything, but I think they could have done it in a funny way. I mentioned to Noodles how they had a huge missed opportunity with that scene because I haven't seen anybody doing the Beetlejuice dance or something like that. And they could have put in a really good catchy song in those scenes. Like they could have started off romantic and soft or whatever Beetlejuice wanted, and then it could have turned into kind of like something more upbeat. So that, for example, for the show Wednesday, look at how many people were copying the Wednesday dance. And they could have done something like that with this. Like, people could have gone along and do the dances, but I feel so I hated that whole scene. To me, it was really, I don't know, it wasn't on brand to me with because we even saw the original Beetlejuice like 2 days ago, and like the whole thing is like more beat, the music, like I don't know.
Yeah.
So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really like that.
Like it's funny because this one's more like of a darker vibe.
Yeah. So that's something that I didn't like. That was my least favorite scene. So overall impression. What were your expectations going in, and what was your overall impression of the movie once you got out?
Mm, Me as my overall impression, I felt like some plots and a few storylines were missed. How he
Mm-hmm.
lived, when, and like how he died. Because I think that was always a big thing for everyone. They're like, oh, like when did he live and how did he die and everything. And
Yeah.
that was never brought up. And like people are always just like wondering like how did this happen? And now we have that answer, which I think is pretty darn cool.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
And something that I told my wife that like not only like if anything made me like his character more because yes he was like people were like oh poison whatever, but to me it's like not only was he poisoned but he decided to take down his murderer slash wife or ex-wife with him because he
Right.
was like oh hell no, like I'm not gonna go down like without a fight, like like I'm gonna take you with
Right.
me, like he chopped her up. So can
Yeah.
you imagine only that? Because I imagine they say depending on the poison, how much they give to them and everything, like it ravages the body so badly that it could make them very hard to move. They could be in pain. He could have trouble breathing, and he could even gotten paralyzed. But like he was like, "Fuck it, I'm going on pure adrenaline here. I'm taking you with me."
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That I overloved love, but
Mhm.
again, the thing that I hated was like they amped it up between them. It's gonna be like an epic showdown, and that Lydia may or may not was gonna help him. But like that didn't happen.
Mhm.
And don't get me wrong, I love hearing his backstory. I love seeing the wife and like her ability to soul suck. That was freaking amazing.
Mhm.
And also very terrifying. Like definitely gives off the whole like that's someone you don't want to cross paths with. Serious I thought it was gonna be. It's like, do you not remember how the first movie was? It was
Right.
anything but serious. Yes, they had their serious moments, but they also made it understood to the audience and everything that it's gonna be lightheartedness. Like it's not gonna
Right.
Yeah.
like it's that's not its main goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I loved that, and I loved how it stuck to that. Like it was just like we're sticking to it. I again like I think I hated some of the plots. Like I felt like they could have expanded more on, but other than all,
Mhm.
I loved it. And if I wanna have a good giggle, like to me it's just
Mhm.
like I would watch it. I would watch it again.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I feel like this was more like towards the younger generation. Like it was good, don't get me wrong. I'd watch it again, but I think I'd wait for it to come out. to watch it again.
Mhm.
Unless someone pays for my ticket, then I'm there. But
Then I'm there.
but but all in all, like it was a good movie. Like I was entertained. You know, like I was laughing. I got most of the jokes. I think there were some that went over my head, but like it was good for like it's part two. What you kind of expect from a part two. It's not the
Mhm.
best, but it's not the worst.
Hmm.
It was still funny. I agree. It was just kind of slow on some parts.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Well, for me, first of all, I'm a huge Beetlejuice fan. So I was looking forward to it since before they even announced that there was going to be a Beetlejuice 2. Like, I was one of the ones that I was like, please, please, when are they going to make another movie like this?
Mm-hmm.
So my expectation was really high, yet also with the knowledge of knowing that that it was a sequel. And like we just said, sequels are usually not that as best as good as the first movie.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the case with this one. I loved it, and this is a movie that I would watch again and again. And the first thing I said, I haven't bought an actual like physical movie, but I think this movie I am
Oh
going to
yeah.
buy it. Honestly, I think it's just for the nostalgia. Um, so my overall, like, I liked it, but there were some things that, of course, I didn't like. So I love the storyline, but I feel like it was all over the place. I feel like I love the storyline with Astrid and how she ends up in the underworld.
Hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
like that. I think that was brilliant. That was something that I was not expecting. That caught me off guard.
I honestly expected her to end up
Yeah.
in a similar situation to how Lydia was when she was a teen.
Right.
Yeah.
So I like that. Like, I love that part of the storyline. But I like the way they did Charles Dietz, like his story, like
Mm-hmm.
how he ended up. I love the way they did that as well. Like I said, but my biggest complaint is I feel the first movie. I remember watching the first movie as a kid in the theater, and the music for me, like, that's what saved it. Like, to me, that's what made Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, was like the little songs, the quirkiness, like, because even in the first movie, right, when the movie starts, the Maitlands are playing this, kind of upbeat music in the basement. None of
Mm-hmm.
that was really in this movie.
Hmm.
And I don't know why they did it that way. It was the same composer too, Danny Elfman. Like, it's the same one. So I don't know what. I feel like that was a big miss for me in this movie. Big spoiler ahead, but yeah, I know you mentioned it earlier. I hate that Delia dies. I hate that she dies at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the way that she died. Like, it was so funny the way that she dies. Let me think. But overall, probably, like I said, my biggest complaint would just be the music. I, but I liked it. As a Beetlejuice fan, I'm okay with it. Like, I like it. I think that if you're not a Beetlejuice fan, this probably isn't the movie for you. Like, if you didn't enjoy the first movie, then I don't think you're gonna enjoy this movie. But
Hmm.
if you like the first movie, then you have a good chance of liking this one too. Although
Yeah.
I've seen reviews, I've seen people just on social media be like, I hated the movie, but I've seen more people that liked it that didn't. So
Hmm.
the acting, I think I like Jenna Ortega in this role.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we mentioned was Lydia. Lydia Deeds. Now let's break it down. Let's go more into in detail here. So the character of Lydia. For me, I feel like Beetlejuice. is really about Lydia. It's like her story, both even the first one and now this one. So I kind of like that. I love Winona Ryder. She's amazing.
She is.
Mhm.
I but we were saying that we don't. I didn't really like
What they did with Lydia.
what they did with Lydia. Yeah,
They watered her down. Like they made her kind of pathetic, and that makes me
Yeah,
sad.
because
Like
like in the beginning, in the first Beetlejuice movie, like I felt like she loved, like how she says she loves the unknown, the creepy, the oh what's out there. You know, she loves
yeah.
yes, and
what
now
makes people
she's scared of
uncomfortable.
it.
No, yeah, like the fact that she's like, oh no, like ever since my first experience, it's been hard for me to like it again. It's just like, if anything, I think she would have. I mean, yes, Beetlejuice, definitely scared her. Like her character did say she found him very scary. But I don't know. I think especially with like how with the first the couple goes, like forgetting their names right now. It's so sad.
Barbara, Adam, and Barbara
Barbara and
Maitland.
Adam, yeah. I think with them, especially since like they live together in harmony, like in the end. I think with them, like she would still love the the phenomenon. Like I think she still would have like been like, okay, yeah, I'm still gonna explore. I'm not gonna let him get the best of me.
Yeah, like she seems like the type that would do her research to keep herself safe.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, especially because the way the first one ended. This is what I'm saying. Like the first one ended with Lydia happy. Like she
Yeah.
was happy living there. They were coexisting, the Maitlands and them, the Deets, they were coexisting. And it ended in a happy note. So I agree. Like I think this movie was darker, like you said, and it didn't have to be. I think that they should
Yeah.
have done it more lighthearted, like the way the first one is.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I love Winona Ryder. I love Lydia Deetz. I think they did a disservice in making her character that way.
Nah, not only
Agreed.
that, but also like a pill addict. She's like, oh, like I have to like I need to sleep. I need
Mm-hmm.
to concentrate. And how the guy's like, no, no. At first, like I kind of liked him for that a little bit, but then she's like, no, please let me. Like I can't concentrate. And he's like, okay, yeah, you're right. We both could use it. And I'm like, what the
Right,
hell?
right. And then, so the other thing, my other pet peeve about this is that the maintenance, right? They could have totally put, we talked about this, they could have put at least Barbara. Like, look, I understand why they didn't put Adam, the actor Alec Baldwin. I understand why.
Hmm.
But me personally, I feel that what Charles, the actor who played Charles did, the reason he's not in the film, or because I don't know if you guys know this, but the actor who played Charles Deeds, and I can't remember the name right now, but that actor, he was, I think he was sentenced or something for child pornography. Okay,
Mhm.
Hmm.
so I'm glad he's not in the movie, but he is his story is told. He's there. His presence, the character,
Yeah.
Charles
Yeah.
Deeds. I don't understand why they couldn't do that for Barbara, at least Barbara. Like again, rumor is that the reason they didn't add Adam Maitland, which is played by Alec Baldwin, is because of the whole thing with the whole shooting in the movie. Which again, I get it. But I know I saw an interview of the actress who plays Barbara, Gina Davis, and she was saying that, oh, perhaps because, it's been 20 something years and they've aged. But so has Beetlejuice. They
No,
have
yeah.
Yeah.
makeup for that. Like, they could have done her makeup different, and I feel like the perfect scene, like, okay, I'm not a director or anything, but I feel like a perfect, like, they could have done like a small little cameo because they said, oh, through a loophole, they got out, right? They were able to leave the house, whatever, move on. But when they were in the underworld, when Beetlejuice and Lydia were in the underworld looking for Astrid, I feel like they could have done like a little cameo of Barbara there, like, oh hi, anything.
Yeah.
So that kind of has me peeved. You know, I think Tim Burton said that the reason that they did it was because they feel that Barbara and Adam's story was already told, which fair enough, but I still would have liked a small cameo or something else mentioned than the way that she mentions them because it just seems so, I don't know,
Yeah.
like if they really didn't care
Mhm.
when they were such a huge part of Lydia.
No, yeah, like she loved them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they like I remember like because in the movie like again like Barbara and Adam are trying to have a baby and they have been unsuccessful. And when the deeds come in and everything, and I remember Lydia saying like she herself and how people view her as strange and unusual, and she's like, well, you're just a little kid.
Mhm.
And they kind of like almost like in a weird like pseudo kind of way, like they adopted her, like they were
Mm.
help raising her along with her family, like giving her the parental, maternal, and fatherly love that she desired and needed and wanted, while her parents could do whatever.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I just think that, like, I do wish, like, yes, like, now looking back on it, it's like, I do kind of wish they had, like I said, a small cameo, because again, in the underworld, like, how there's so many different rooms from so many different reasons and uses, and I feel like they could have done, like, a glimpse to, like, what's their, like, little perfect slice of own heaven, like, their own little life.
Right.
And instead, like it went like how you said, like it went in a different direction, which okay, fine, whatever. But like I still wish like yeah, like they could have make it seem like oh like like we're still hanging around anyways because like like we're keeping an eye on you.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I think that would have been nice. They didn't want to show them a lot, that's fine, but like a little cameo, like we said, like they did it with Charles,
Mhm.
sort of ish. But overall, like I said, if you're a Beetlejuice fan, you're gonna enjoy the movie. Okay, so watch while high, yes or no? Is this one of those movies?
Yes,
Oh my
definitely,
God,
100%.
yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say 100% watch while you're high. This would be something that'll really. Actually, I want to go watch it again. No, just kidding. So, how many blunts would you ladies give it? Zero being the worst, five being the best. How many
Mm,
um,
blunts?
I think 4.
Why?
4
'Cause
blunts because there was just like at this point, I'm just if they could do something different with Lydia, you know,
mhm.
everything else I can look over, but or look past, I mean. But I just didn't really like. That's really what just irked me. I don't like what they did with her.
Mm. Okay. Mia Musica?
I also give it 4, and reasons for me is because like again I felt like they could have done better with the storyline. I felt like they could have expanded a bit more, or maybe like a bit more interesting, like Lydia explained to her daughter like how she found out she has her ability, and I guess like her finding out like oh like her daughter is able to see ghosts too, because like they kind of never addressed that. I think she just probably thought like oh my daughter just somehow got tricked by a ghost and that's it. Like
Mm.
she never addresses like the thought like oh my god my daughter was able to see him, because when she finds out that he's actually dead like she's No, yes, I get it. Like mom bear mode, like she's like I have to go protect her, but again, it's like she didn't question like, oh, she actually inherited my ability.
Hmm. I think that because in Lydia's world, that was just so common. Maybe that's why she didn't really question it.
That's true.
Mm.
So I agree with you, ladies. I think four blunts is a good score for it. My reason for that is different. My reason is because of the music. I think the music is what yeah, I think the music is what attracted me in the first one, the music, and it was just so different. It was so different of anything else I had seen. And in this one, I feel like that was missed. I don't even
Definitely.
remember when there was upbeat music at all, actually. I'm trying to think.
The Soul Train.
No,
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
That was the only time it was when it was the Soul Train.
I
Oh,
do
right.
also question about the Soul Train. Like, where does it take them? Like,
They said the afterlife.
yeah, but like, does it like multiple different afterlives? Like their own personal
Mm.
ones? Like what? Because the guy, like, he wants to be alive again. Because I imagine like, oh, to go on his killing spree because he's a murderer, or
Oh,
just to be
right.
alive again. But again, I also do love how Beetlejuice just straight up sent him straight to hell. I love that. Because again, it showed how powerful he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do also like question like, okay, then like with Astra, like does that mean like it takes them where they're meant to be? And that's why he doesn't want to go because like he knows he's not gonna end up in a good place.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess so, because he did say that they were trading spots, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would expect that she would have to go wherever he was supposed to go.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Now, do you guys think that there's going to be a third part?
I think so, yes.
Mm,
Will there be anytime soon? I don't think so. But I do think there might be because like I've heard through the rumor mill like how they talked about the to the guy who made Beetlejuice, and he said like he's always imagined more installments for Beetlejuice, like he wants to expand on him a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that, to me, it's just like okay, that's good. Like I just also hope that I don't know, like when he does, like he's given the green light at some point. Again, I don't think it's anytime soon, but I do hope it's soon enough. Like maybe in like
Mm-hmm.
another maybe 10 years or so.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, I hope they do make a third one. Maybe, I don't know, but maybe they could do better music. I
put more upbeat music.
think it would make sense if they make a third one,
Yeah.
just because of the names, you know?
No, yeah, like you had to call him 3 times, and the first one was literally just called Beetlejuice, and the second time is just no, yeah, just him on in the second name. Oh shit, forgot about that.
Right. So let me give you guys some really quick, just some little bits of information. So Beetlejuice, for both movies, the first one and the second one, he was only on screen for 17 minutes. In the first one, he was only on screen for 17 minutes, and in the second one, the same thing. Isn't that crazy?
That is,
It's crazy
And
because
he's
it's
just
like,
too real. It feels like he's been on the screen longer.
I know,
right,
right?
yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. So box office, how is it doing? So right now, as of today, Beetlejuice is still number one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
So I'm happy with that. It has made, let me see. I was looking it up and then I was reading. There's this whole article on it. Okay, so the film has generated 188 million total at the domestic box office and 264 million globally.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, I think that's really cool.
Because they really do have a cult following,
No,
honestly.
yeah. Like again,
Oh
like
yeah.
Beetlejuice. I remember when you first showed us to it, which I should definitely say, like when I first did show it to us, when you said Beetlejuice, I thought it was a scary movie. I remember I kept asking you as a kid, like, is it scary? Like I don't want to be scared. And then you kept on telling me, no, no, it's not scary, I promise you. And I kept thinking in my head, like, she's gonna trick me. Because you've done that to me before in the past. I should say that to everyone now. My
Oh my
mom has tricked
God.
me before in the past where she will tell me the movie isn't scary, it's not sad. Turns out it is. And I'm over here like, you just wanted to hurt my feels. I see how it is.
I think I've tricked you more with the sadness part because I know you're okay with the scary movies, but it's sad movies that I really wanted you to see, not because they were sad, but just because it was good movies.
You
Hmm.
just wanted to see you cry.
I
No,
know, right?
I think those are the ones that, but not scary movies, but maybe, but I didn't lie about Beetlejuice.
No, yeah. I remember like you wouldn't want to say a lot because you're afraid you're gonna
Ruin it.
ruin it for us. And I was like, okay, like she says it's not that scary. Because I remember we did ask you not because like we thought it was gonna be scary, but we thought like, is that what you want us to watch? Like, is it scary? Is it good?
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, it's not that scary. And I'm like, oh my god, it's a sad movie. She's gonna make me watch a sad movie. And again, it wasn't, so I'm happy about that. I remember the only thing you said to us like it's very different. And I
Mhm.
kept on thinking in my head like, how different is it? And no, yeah, like when we first saw it, I was like, this is very different. No,
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
loved
think
it.
that
I wasn't
was
disappointed.
yeah, I think that was my first brush with Tim Burton, and I loved it. Even though I know there's a lot of things that are, that have been said about him too, but I like the movies. And Beetlejuice was definitely one of my favorites, for sure.
I could see why.
Mhm.
So I did mention that we watched the first movie about what was it, about 2 days ago, maybe that we saw the first movie again. And I want to
Hmm.
bring up something. This really has nothing to do with Beetlejuice, but it has something to do with Beetlejuice. And I mentioned it last time that we talked about it, but we kind of just brushed it off. But I feel like we found a Mandela effect in Beetlejuice.
Oh, right, in the first one. I forgot about that.
Yes. So I, how do you? Well, I don't know if you remember what I had said the Mandela effect is, but the house is iconic, right? The house after the Deets get their hands on it, and Delia Deets does the whole, and Otho, they remodel the house, both inside and outside.
Mhm.
In this new, in the way it is now, the house on the outside looks a little bit different than the way I remember it. So, how do you remember the outside looking? Like I don't know if you can describe it.
Um, I'm like trying to think how can I describe the house. I
Like
remember it being
color
like
wise, I guess.
completely white.
Hmm.
No, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like once the deeds got it and they did the whole remodeling thing, like she pretty much changes it to like almost pure white, like
Hmm.
a like I want to say like a modern barn house in a way. Very very modern
Modern. Right.
for them and and the time of it was, you know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So when I saw it, because I saw Beetlejuice, we watched it again like maybe about a month ago. And I noticed, I was like, wait, what? Why does the house look like that? So in Beetlejuice, the house, the way I remember it is, I just remember it all white. Like the outside, even after they remodel it, it was just all white. It had these weird, cool angles, right? Like it had that weird patio, and then on the top, they did kind of like a weird overhang with like a circle in it. So
Hmm.
now, when you go back and you look at it, it's white, but it has two yellow beams on the top.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw it, which was about a month ago, I mentioned it to you all. I was like, wait, what? But we never really thought anything about it. But 2 days ago, when we're watching it again, and I told Noodles, I'm like, look at the house. Does that look like the way it used to look?
And yeah, it just looks off. Like I don't remember seeing any yellow on that house before.
No, yeah, I want to say you guys
Yeah.
told me about it, and like when I was visiting you guys and we watched it, I did see it, and it looked weird because like that beam was like the only thing that was yellow compared to the rest, and it just like it looked very off. Like it threw off the aesthetic, which to me, especially the way how Delia was, like I don't think she would have done that, even for artistic purposes. You know, like I don't think she would have done that. Like I don't think she would have put just one yellow beam against a white looking ass house like that.
And then, right, because like in Beetlejuice, right? I'm trying to think what other colors, because they do use other colors, right? Like they use the purples, they use different types of purples, grays. I don't, I don't remember. I don't remember ever the yellow even being part of like, maybe the yellow is part of like his teeth. I don't know. I'm thinking of the cartoon now. But I don't know. I want to ask if anybody else remembers that, or do you remember the house just being all white on the outside the way we remember it? Because now, like, and then it's one of those things that blink and you'll miss it. So you do need to, if you rewatch Beetlejuice, if you remember the house on the outside being all white, rewatch it, the first one. I didn't even notice in the second one, to be honest. In this one, wasn't even paying attention. But the first one, if you watch it,
Well,
it's
no,
if you have Max right now, you can watch it on Max. Go on. What were you gonna say?
I would say, well, in the second one, they have it shrouded in the black veil, so it's really hard to tell if it is
Right.
the same color or not.
Hmm.
I, cause no, yeah, it goes by really fast. You blink, you miss it, you can't tell. But I want to say that maybe it isn't. I mean, I honestly don't remember again. Like it's shrouded in a big ass veil, cause like she said, like, oh, we're in a mourning period, which again, totally like Delia to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like if people help your little cyber sleuths and like see if maybe if someone could pause it real fast, cause see like maybe if you can see a bit of yellow against the veil or something.
Mhm. Well, like I said, and also like, what do you remember? Because I mean, all of us remember just the white, just being it white. So the yellow beam is so weird. So please, if anybody out there, whether you don't remember it, whether it looks weird for you, I want to hear. I want to hear if this is a Mandela effect that I haven't heard anybody talking about this.
Hmm.
I haven't heard anybody talking about this, but I feel like we discovered a new Mandela effect.
Well, I think the reason we probably haven't heard anything is because first of all, like the beam, like you only see it in that wide shot. Other than
Yeah,
that, it's like you don't really see it.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can see why maybe nobody else would have noticed it, would have seen it, and like would have cared. Because again, it's like you see
Mhm.
it that one time, and if again, it's like it's a whole like if you blink, you miss it.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah, I was about to say you really have to pay attention because it is one of those. Um, if you don't pay attention, you're not gonna see it.
Mhm. Yep. Alright, you guys. Well, I think that's pretty much it for today. I do want to give out a shout out to Neon Bunny for resubscribing. It says resub for 3 months consecutively. Yay! Thank you, Neon
Woo!
Bunny.
Woo! Mhm.
Also, I want to give out. I want to do again the display. Oh my gosh, words are not coming to me today. I do want to remind everybody we're not going to be here Tuesday or Wednesday. We're going to come back on Thursday, but it's going to be at 6 p.m. on Standard Time, and then Friday is going to be the same time at 10 a.m. Please, if you like this content, like, subscribe, follow, all of that, press all those buttons, and join us on Discord so we can continue the conversation and give us your opinion on what it was about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And Mandela effects as well. Do you guys need to add anything before we vamoose?
Mm, no,
I
not
don't
really.
believe so.
Alright, thank you guys for watching. This is Bluntly Talking, and we'll see ya. Bye.
Bye.
Later.